Timothée Chalamet is having a bad week, the kind of week where every choice you make seems designed to embarrass you. First, there are the breakup rumors with Kylie Jenner. Daily Mail says it's over. People magazine insists everything is perfect. The truth is less interesting than the circus around it. But the real story is not about love. It's about judgment. Because while his relationship status was melting down online, Timothée released a video of himself lecturing the marketing team for his new ping pong movie. And instead of looking powerful, he looked lost. This is not a romance story. This is a warning.
A love story between two universes. To understand this entire mess, we need to start with the obvious. Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner should never have worked, not because they disliked each other, but because they came from two completely different ecosystems. Kylie operates in a universe where visibility is oxygen. Her world demands constant exposure, constant noise, constant relevance. Every outfit, every appearance, every relationship is a marketing asset. And she plays that game better than almost anyone alive. Timothée, meanwhile, has spent years cultivating the opposite identity, the quiet artiste, the sensitive actor, the boy who lives for cinema, not headlines. He built a career on mystery, restraint, and that fragile aura of artistic purity Hollywood elites adore. So when these two worlds collided, the relationship was never simply romantic. It was political. It was cultural. It was an unsolvable equation. And according to Rob Shooter, it was also unstable. On again, off again, emotional, turbulent, young love, yes, but also two branding machines grinding against each other. And then there's the press. Daily Mail saying they broke up, People magazine, conveniently close to the Kardashian camp, claiming they're still together. Two versions of reality, both self-serving. This is not a breakup story. It's a story about incompatible identities. One built on silence, the other built on spectacle. And deep down, both sides knew it.
When Hollywood investigates itself. Now we move to the part Hollywood doesn't want you to know. Timothée didn't just lose an Oscar. According to industry whisper networks, the studios actually investigated why he lost. Not publicly, not officially, but quietly, behind closed doors, the way Hollywood always handles embarrassment. They had reason to be confused. His Bob Dylan performance was positioned as a guaranteed win. The studio believed in him. His team believed in him. They even placed him in the classic winner's seat, right on the aisle. You don't get that seat unless insiders think your name is about to be called. But then it wasn't. And in the post-mortem that followed, all fingers reportedly pointed in one direction: Kylie Jenner. Not because she did anything wrong, but because she represented everything the Academy claims to be above. The Kardashians are too commercial, too public, too pop culture, and nothing terrifies the Oscar elite more than appearing ordinary. This wasn't about love. It was about optics. In the Oscar ecosystem, you can date a co-star. You can date a model. You can even date a scandal. But you cannot date someone who reminds the Academy that the world no longer cares about their taste. To them, Kylie wasn't a girlfriend. She was a liability, a symbol that Timothée had crossed into the wrong social class, and Hollywood punishes that. This is why People magazine fights to protect the relationship and why the Oscar voters recoil from it. It's not personal. It's hierarchy.
The Zoom call that changed everything. If the breakup rumors were the spark, the Zoom video was the explosion. Because while the internet debated whether Timothée and Kylie were still together, Timothée himself dropped a far bigger problem onto the table. He released a recording of a Zoom meeting where he lectured the entire A24 marketing team about how they should promote his new ping pong movie, Marty Supreme. And let me be clear, actors have opinions. They give notes, they make suggestions. That part is normal. What is not normal is thinking you look like a genius while sitting shirtless in a dim hotel room, barking motivational cliches at seasoned professionals. He told them the film needed to be intentional, relentless, aggressive. He said it should be one of the most important things that happens on planet Earth this year, for a ping pong movie. The marketing team stared back in silence. Not the respectful kind, the kind where everyone is quietly praying the Wi-Fi drops. Rob Shooter explained it perfectly. If anyone else on that call had leaked the footage, they would have been fired instantly, no questions asked. But Timothée didn't just leak it, he proudly released it himself. Because in his mind, this wasn't embarrassing, it was powerful. And that's the real issue here. Timothée wasn't sabotaged by Hollywood. He wasn't undermined by Kylie. He walked into a room full of adults, delivered a parody of a motivational speech, and thought he looked unstoppable. The problem wasn't the video. The problem was that he thought it was a flex. It's not personal. It's hierarchy.
And this brings us to the heart of the comedy. Because even if the Zoom video had never existed, the film behind it would still raise eyebrows. Marty Supreme is a drama about a young man trying to become a champion ping pong player. Not exactly the kind of premise that screams Oscar campaign. Yet Timothée approached it as if he were leading a once-in-a-generation masterpiece. The trailer doesn't help his case. He wanders through scenes looking half awake, half shaved, and entirely unaware of how young he appears next to Gwyneth Paltrow, who plays his older lover. She looks radiant. He looks like he's waiting for puberty to finally kick in. It's a strange visual dynamic, and not in the artistic way they probably intended. But the real disconnect is his seriousness. Timothée talks about the movie with the gravity of a war epic, as if championing ping pong is the same as liberating a nation, as if every paddle swing is a metaphor for the human condition. This is why critics are laughing. Not because the film is bad, but because Timothée is treating it like it's a sacred text. He is performing intensity, while the rest of us see a story built for a late-night parody sketch. And in that gap, between how he sees himself and how the world sees him, the entire narrative begins to unravel. This isn't artistic ambition. This is miscalibrated self-importance. Hollywood didn't sabotage him. Kylie didn't distract him. He simply believed his own myth a little too much.
The problem isn't Kylie. The problem is Timothée. At this point, it's tempting to blame the usual suspects. Blame Kylie for distracting him. Blame the Academy for being elitist. Blame Hollywood for its obsession with image. But none of that explains what we're seeing. Because when you connect every thread, the unstable relationship, the Oscar disappointment, the Zoom lecture, the ping pong epic, one pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Timothée is sabotaging himself. The on-off romance with Kylie didn't damage his career. His inability to manage that narrative did. Every breakup headline became a reflection of inconsistency, not betrayal. The Hollywood investigation into his Oscar loss wasn't an attack. It was a reminder that perception is part of the job. And he lost control of that perception the moment he stopped understanding his audience. The Zoom video wasn't leaked to embarrass him. He released it because he genuinely believed it made him look powerful. That alone tells us everything we need to know about his judgment. And the seriousness he projects onto Marty Supreme doesn't reveal artistic ambition. It reveals a widening gap between who he thinks he is and how the industry sees him. This isn't a tragedy, it's a correction. Timothée doesn't need enemies. He doesn't even need critics. All he needs is one bad decision, repeated, confidently, and filmed from a bad angle to knock himself off balance. And lately, that's exactly what he's been doing.
This isn't a love story. It's a warning. So let's end where we began, with a simple truth that cuts through the noise. This entire saga, the breakup rumors, the Oscars, the Zoom call, the ping pong prophecy, is not about romance. It's not even about Hollywood politics. It's a story about judgment and what happens when someone stops recognizing the limits of their own narrative. Timothée Chalamet didn't lose his footing because he dated Kylie Jenner. He lost it because he no longer understands how he is being seen. In an industry built on perception, that is the most dangerous mistake you can make. Hollywood doesn't punish weakness, it punishes naivety. And in releasing that video and overplaying a modest film and assuming the Academy would bend to his mythology, Timothée exposed himself more than any tabloid ever could. He isn't being sabotaged, he is simply being revealed. And maybe that's the point the industry is trying to make. You can be talented, you can be adored, you can be crowned the next great actor. But if you stop understanding the world around you, the world will show you exactly where you stand. This isn't a love story. This is not a scandal. This is a reminder for anyone watching that the fall always begins the moment you believe you're untouchable. Case closed.